Welcome to the Bahamas Bridal Association inaugural presentation of Let's Talk Weddings. Wedding. A topic that seemed out of place in this world of pandemics, economic concerns, political issues. But for a bride and groom, we understand that your wedding day can consume your every thought. And that's all you want to think about today, tomorrow, every day until the day arrives. Understandably, the world is focused on the pandemic and all that it affects. But do not fear. The Bahamas Bridal Association is here to have that conversation with you. So, without further ado, we will be presenting every 2 weeks topics pertaining to your wedding day, what you want to talk about. Everything from floral to decor to the wedding dress to the wedding planner, the marriage officer. Join us here on our Facebook page and let's talk. Birds of paradise, roses, orchids. The selection of floral for a bride's bouquet can be as unique as the bride. Some may argue that there is no wrong or right floral selection, as it is all a matter of the bride's taste. Today we are going to dwell into this topic, sharpen our floristic knowledge, and possibly enhance our taste together. Let's Talk Wedding welcomes to our inaugural show a veteran in the business, renowned businessman, florist, and longtime vendor member of the Bahamas Bridal Association, the charming, the charismatic, I give you Mr. Jim Whitehead. Welcome.
What a welcome. Thank you so much, Cindy.
Welcome, Jim, and thank you so much for having us create this moment here at the beautiful, picturesque Nassau Florist on Dazzle Street, none other than at the Villa Flora.
That's right. Villa Flora. Good name, isn't it?
Wonderful. I'm so happy to be making this historic moment for the Bahamas Bridal Association with you. You know, as I think back as when my career started in the destination wedding business, representing a resort on Paradise Island, you were the go-to florist for me. And at the time, I think you were about already a decade into the business. How long have you been doing this, Jim?
Well, I purchased the business, the Nassau Florist, about 25 years ago. And prior to that, I started the Frederick Street Florist downtown, on Frederick Street, for 3 years. Then I got the opportunity to buy the Nassau Florist, which was a good move. It was on Shirley Street. It needed a lot of work. But I also, to me, I bought a name. It was called Nassau Florists.
Mm-hmm.
And I changed it to the Nassau Florist. You know, one florist. Not the
Oh,
florist.
okay.
And at the time, that was when we were registering domain names, you know, for online business.
Yes.
And this was really at the beginning of all of
Yeah.
that. So I thought, well, this is great. Nassau, the Nassau Florist.
Yes.
So I didn't realize at the time how important that was, to register it and paper and everything. And because now, you know, people are looking for a florist in Nassau, and they could Google
You show up.
florist, Nassau, florist. So we come up, you know,
That's
always at
very
the
good.
top usually. So that was a good move,
Very
doing
good.
that. And then we expanded you know, we're now moved from Charlotte Street to these beautiful old house which dates back
Yes,
to
I
about
remember.
1890.
I remember
actually.
that location there.
Yes.
And I picked up a lot of tips from you over the years. I'm so excited to have you share some of those tips with our brides today, because all we want to talk about are flowers.
Right.
We want to talk about bouquets, centerpieces, the arch, the arbor, everything.
Mhm.
So let's start with the bouquet.
Right.
How should a bride go about selecting her flowers?
Well, typically, you know, when we are talking to brides, if they come in or if they're online, I would say to them, you know, do you have an idea? They don't often come in and say, I have no idea what I want. Nowadays, you know, brides, they see so much now.
Yes.
You know,
Thanks to Pinterest.
Yeah, thanks to Pinterest, all the other media, you know,
Yes.
that we have, and it's available. So they have an idea, and usually it would be, you know, they would have a color in mind
Mm.
for their wedding, not necessarily for their bouquet, which traditionally is usually white, not always, but they would have colors in mind, and then they would say, well, they like specific flowers, or a look, and quite often they have photographs of the look.
Yes.
And we would, it's up to us to, you know, recreate that look. Most of the time we can do it, or maybe we could say, well, that's not really going to work here. And particularly with our foreign brides, they might send pictures of something that is beautiful, but it's very English country garden.
Right.
That you've seen quite a lot actually with the royal weddings in England, and was very wild, and, you know, beautiful, country flowers and things. We could get them, but in the tropics, they don't really hold up.
Right, they won't.
Now you can still get that kind of wild look.
Yeah.
So it's up to us to advise them
Right.
how they could,
Guide
you
them
know,
and
guide them as to what would be the best flowers for that look that is going to hold up in our climate.
Right, yeah. Sensitize them to
right.
things like temperature that,
Yeah,
you know,
some things just won't hold up.
right, when you're thinking about your wedding, you're not worried, things like that, bride will tend not to
Yes,
think
if
about.
you're thinking of things like, you know, stock, which is very delicate, it's beautiful in beautiful colors, and we have stock in the shop now, for instance, but you know, we don't tend to use so much of that.
So what is the most sought after flower you found?
Well,
Does it vary from season to season?
No, but I would say the most popular flower is still the rose.
Really?
Yeah,
Rose.
and of course there's so many beautiful colors in roses, you know, and a lot of them are available, and then the shape, you know, is a beautiful posy like this one here, for instance.
Yes, the
There's
colors.
beautiful
are
colors
nice.
in
Yes.
this, you know, and it's not tropical flowers, but it has a kind of tropical look about it with the
It
colors.
does. It does.
You know, and so the shape is popular. Cascade shape, of course, we do. That could be a bit more wild looking, you know, and with trailing orchids, and you know, there's certain things that don't work in a cascading bouquet, like birds of paradise or something. You know, that kind of more straight.
Yes.
So the The roses are, I would say, are the most popular.
Okay.
But we could combine the roses with some, like a bouquet like this one, with some orchids or heads of dendrobium orchids
Oh,
or lilies.
beautiful.
Or we can maybe start off with hydrangeas and mix the roses
In there, okay.
That it too is popular.
Yes. I've seen that.
And we match up the boutonniere, for instance. And if we were, I would suggest, you know, for their attendance, that we keep it all like that, but maybe a smaller version.
Okay.
And the bride probably would want the traditional white and cream color.
Of course.
Maybe, you know.
Yeah.
And the girls would pick up a color that's going to coordinate with the dresses that they're wearing. And, you know, the boutonnieres would match that.
So what do you see is trending right now? You know, I've seen quite a bit of requests coming from my brides for the single flower bouquet, you know, the calla lily. What do you see is trending for our brides?
Not so much not for the brides. They don't really want more than a single flower. But what is popular, of course, are calla lilies, the big open cut, they call them. There are the open cut callas, that they are big ones.
Okay.
And then there's the smaller callas.
Yes.
Funnily enough, you'd think the smaller ones would be cheaper, but sometimes they cost more than the big ones. Not that you don't have to worry about that.
Oh.
But they would maybe, you know, the bride would have the big callas in white or something, a beautiful wrap and with some jewels or something.
And that's
like
beautiful.
that. Yeah, and then maybe the attendants could also have callas, but they might be the smaller ones, or they might be in colors. And there's a lot of colors available in the mini callas, we call them. You know, purple and red and yellow and pink and fuchsia, and you know, there's a lot of different colors in there. And we could combine a few little orchids in with them. So that is popular, you know. But I think and sometimes they say, well, they just want the girls to carry one single flower, you know.
Right.
Well, that could be a big calla, but it'd have to have like a palm leaf behind it and a nice big bow.
Okay,
You know,
that can be elegant and
Yes,
tropical.
yeah.
Sounds good. You've given so many tips, so many advice. One last advice you would extend to a bride, or perhaps planners like myself representing the bride, to make sure that, you know, so many things can go wrong on that day, but we want to make sure at least the flowers are perfect.
Oh, yeah.
What advice you would give that final advice?
They would, obviously, we're having discussions with them and the planner and the time that's going to be delivered. Everything has to be done on time. It's definitely for us, has to be done on time. And you know, for instance, if we're doing beach setups, that takes time to get to the beach. You might be setting up an archway.
Oh, wow.
And that is typically where we would be doing beautiful tropical flowers.
Right.
And tropical bouquets with birds of paradise and orchids and pincushion proteas and, you know, and nice foliage. And I try to you make suggestions like that, especially to our foreign brides. They're in the tropics. Why not have a beautiful tropical wedding?
Right.
And sometimes they
Makes
don't
sense,
want that,
yes.
you know, but they want the tropical look. But you have to be timely. You have to have everything set up. Be gone by the time the wedding party arrives.
Right.
All finished.
Right.
Whether you're setting up chairs, but quite often we're working with coordinators, you know, that do that.
Yes.
And we will do we've done everything, but of course there are a lot of bridal consultancy coordinators in the Bahamas Bridal Association who are the, you know, experts at doing that. And we work together, work as a team, and we're all on time, you know.
Yes.
So I think be timely, and my advice to the brides would be, have some idea of the flowers that you like, a budget, color scheme, discuss it with your florist, and be open to options and suggestions, I should say, suggestions in what's available, and you know, try and plan it. I mean, I know we have people come in and they get married next week, but that's fine. You know, we can do that. But when you've got time, you can plan it, and you can plan your budget as well. You know, you could pay,
Yes.
you know, have to put it all up front. You can plan that, and as you plan, you know, the dress and the photographer and everything.
Don't forget
It's
the
a-
flowers.
Yeah, don't forget the flowers.
Wow, wonderful, great stuff. Jim,
Thanks.
you and your team at the Nassau Florist here are the absolute best.
Thank you, Cindy.
This has truly been an exciting experience. And I know you brides out there have some questions, so please go right ahead and submit your questions right here on our Facebook page, or you can email them directly to me at bahamasbba@gmail.com. Jim and I will respond right away. As you can see, Jim is a wealth of knowledge and experience, and he is all too ready to share. Thank you so much, Jim. You have set the bar very high for future presentations of
Okay.
Let's Talk Weddings.
Okay, that was great. Thank you so much, Cindy. It's such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Cordianne Higgs is our senior floral designer at the Nassau Florist. And Cordianne, she's just made this beautiful arrangement, and she's going to explain the flowers that we've used in it, which would be beautiful in a tropical wedding. Cordianne?
Okay, these are birds of paradise, the nice vibrant orange color, nice for a tropical wedding. These are roses. Usually roses is common to do a wedding with, and they're always beautiful. The colors are always vibrant. And the orchid, this is a cymbidium orchid, the bright yellow, very exotic for a wedding. And of course the white lilies. If you want an all white bouquet, you can incorporate the white lilies in the bouquet.
Jim, these are beautiful.
Yes, this is the emphasis on roses and hydrangeas, you know, in these arrangements. And this is for a yacht, actually, and the
Wow.
color scheme's green and white. So we have all they love the white roses. These are beautiful white roses.
And they can easily be used for a wedding.
Oh yes, yeah, definitely. And then we have the nice green orchids here that we've mixed with some succulents, you know, which was the request. We don't
Okay.
sell succulents usually, but you know we get them because that's what the client wants.
Well, there you have it, Jim. We have done it. The inaugural show of our Let's Talk Wedding, presented by the Bahamas Bridal Association. Jim, you and your team have been absolutely the best.
Oh.
You have set the bar very high for future
Thanks.
presentations. Thank you so much, and we wish you all the best.
And the same here, Cindy. Thank you very much for
Thank
coming
you.
to our beautiful Villa Flora.
Villa Flora, not the Nassau Florist. Thank you, and keep everything going.